What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here, bringing you another video. So today I found out that apparently there was information released about the Power Rangers movie. It's supposed to be coming out in 2017, and what was confirmed was supposedly from some early scripts of the movie. It was found out what the character profiles for our 5 main Rangers, and apparently this, at least is an early scripts, apparently their names are being capped, so it's not like new names that are specific. They are trying to keep things very accurate and very much so the way they once were, the way they were in the original show, and trying to be accurate in that regard. So anyway, they finally gave out like some early script information in regards to character profiles. Now, do we know who's playing them? No, but I do want to read these because these are interesting, and they actually have a pretty long character description for each of them. So I'm going to start off with Jason. So it says Jason, 17 years old, the makings of someone or something great if he would just get out of his own way. Jason was a legend of this town, a freshman quarterback with the skills to take him all the way. People knew his name, children wore his jersey, until one night Jason wrapped his car around a pole and busted out his knee. Everything Jason was going to become ended in an instant, and with it, he lost himself. When we meet him at the start of the film, he's a kid in need of redemption. By the end, he'll be leading his desperate group of teens to shed their individual baggage and find who they truly are. So clearly, right away, you can tell that everyone is going to have their own issues and problems, and they definitely have their own issues. So let's keep going, and we'll go on to the next one. So this is Kimberly. Kimberly, 17 years old, unconventionally cool, all in a way the popular girls wish they were. In fact, she was one of those girls, but isn't anymore. Not since she returned to school after an absence of 6 months. Wow. Rumors are flying as to why rumors she seems not to care about, because she's come back with this new rebel without a cause edgy attitude, but the truth is it's all masking a deep secret that makes her feel profoundly vulnerable. Interesting. I actually kind of like both of theirs. You know, his mentions him as a quarterback, which is not what he was into. You know, he was into martial arts, so kind of different there. And and they don't even mention her gymnastics, so that's kind of different. But they do mention the popular girl aspect. So then Trini, 17 years old, mysterious and extremely bright. Her parents constantly move for work, making Trini the perpetual new girl to any school. A loner who owns it, Trini is self-sufficient, contemplative, but always observant. All she wants is to find her gang of friends, but she'll never admit it, least of all to herself. Okay. So, pretty accurate description of what we know of her originally. They definitely go into further detail, and there is that aspect of, you know, she has her own baggage. Like, that's definitely there, that they brought up with Jason. So, let's continue. So, then we have Billy. Okay, so Billy is 17 years old, slight and awkward. Billy is challenging his abilities to communicate and interact socially, whip smart and sweet, but always odd, sometimes in a funny way, sometimes not. Billy is a kid with no filter, showing his emotions, understanding sarcasm, and dealing with his OCD is a constant challenge. Has never really had any friends, and instantly gravitates towards Jason. So that's actually, so gravitating towards Jason is pretty accurate to the early parts of the show. Like, I'd say the first episode or two, that was definitely a bigger deal. It wasn't super emphasized, but it was definitely a thing. Him being OCD wasn't as much of a thing. Him being able to communicate with people, that's definitely a thing. Sarcasm, though, there was sarcasm towards, like, you know, Bulk and Skull, but that's about it, really. I mean, like, there was an occasional sarcasm, but typically it wasn't much of any sarcasm. So he wasn't smart that way, usually. But anyway, let's keep going. So Zach, 17 years old, always the life of the party, filled with bravado and swagger. Zach's tough and cool on the exterior, A charming guy who's never had trouble with the one-liners nor lacked confidence around women. A great athlete that's never wanted to play on any team but his own. Zach advertises everything about himself except the truth, which is that he lives in a trailer park with his single mom, and because of it, feels deeply inferior to all his peers. So that's about it for their descriptions. So I wanted to talk about his now. Now, Zach I actually kind of find interesting. So yeah, they definitely mention, he's life of the party. They don't mention his, his dance moves, but they definitely mention he's life of the party. He does advertise himself. He does try to act cool. He tries to show that he's great, and that's all pretty accurate. Personally, I'll tell you this much, I really like the descriptions. I'm curious as to whether or not they're going to have a sex range in this movie, or if they're going to move on and wait until the next movie if they choose to do 2, which is rumored to be a thing. Personally, I like what they're saying here. If this is all shown off, which is something that the article goes on further to say, if this is all shown off in the movie and we actually get background on this and we actually get to see them visually, like maybe there's flashbacks for each of them showing off who they were and how they changed and how they became who they were in modern time, that would be interesting, especially since they're supposed to start off with a flashback, supposedly, and I mentioned this in one of my other Power Rangers movie videos, was the whole entire idea that supposedly they're going to have like a battle with Rita and Zordon. But it's going to be interesting, because if this is, it sounds really interesting the way that they're describing all these characters, even though there are aspects that are different, and like certain activities are different, or certain things that they do are like slightly different, or personality traits are slightly different. A lot of what makes each of them who they were in the original still exist here in some way, it sounds like. So I actually kind of like it, because there's enough change, but there's not, like, there's a good balance of change and a good balance of what we always think of these characters. So it sounds reasonable and it sounds interesting. One thing I will be curious to note is the whole entire idea about like Jason, breaking his knee, like getting an injury on his knee. Will that be shown throughout the entire movie? Will that be a small point? And how does that even, like, what does that factor in? I hope that they explain it further and not just mention it like that. Like, I hope that there's something more other than an accident, like something that we see that it really explains, like how, oh, he's gone from everything to nothing. Like, they show it and they really show, like, oh, he was such a great thing and now he's not. Like, do something to really make him stick out a little bit more. Also, Kimberly sounds like an interesting character, sort of like, she's been gone for a while, so people are definitely curious about her. Personally, I'm curious about what that's referring to. Trini being a student that moves around a lot, that's actually pretty accurate to what she was known for originally, being a character that moved around for a while. So it's actually not something that they made up. That's actually pretty accurate, and that's pretty canon to what we know of her character originally, I believe. So it works well. It works well. So I personally will tell you that much. It does work well. They didn't go into like her character was probably the least explained, but there's enough there to really get a sense of who she was, and definitely showed like what we always remembered of Trini. So that was good. So that's something great to show, and there's enough there to really get a sense of each of these characters, and it's exciting. Like, I'm very excited now to know that. Obviously we still don't know who's playing these characters. We don't know much of anything in that regard for a fact. I mean, there's all rumors that I've said in a few of my videos for this movie, but that's about it. We don't really know for a fact much of anything. So personally, I'm kind of waiting. I really am. I hope it's going to be good. I hope we can say that it's that we got a good cast, we got good stuff going on. But this is still, all these videos I've been doing so far, none of these are like set in stone. These are like this alone. This was an article that was supposedly posted in regard to some scripts being revealed a little bit, some early scripts. But you have to wonder, like, how much of this is going to be taken into consideration. Are we going to see a flashback? Are we going to see something, or is this just some overall idea that we're supposed to like kind of be represented and we're not going to actually see it in any visual way in the movie? If it's not shown, I'm not going to be as happy. But if they definitely but if they show it, hopefully we get a good background story, we get enough detail, and it feels like we know these characters and we get a sense of who they are and why should we care about them, and not just that, oh, they're Power Rangers and that's all we need to know. Like, if that were the thing, I'm not complaining, but at the same time, it doesn't hurt to go into more detail if you can. So anyway, I guess that's about it for me. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please comment below about what you guys think about this. I definitely want to know. I'm interested. I'm hoping that this is all true, because I actually really like the descriptions a lot. They definitely put in a lot of detail and a good amount of attention, and there's enough space there to really make you wonder like what they will do. So I'm pretty excited, and I hope you guys are excited too. I know that we haven't even gotten our first trailer, we haven't gotten much of anything again, so I'm just waiting for something big to be leaked or confirmed, that's like set in stone, that we can say for a fact it's real, like a trailer or something like that. When that happens, I'm gonna be excited. I'm sure you guys will be excited. So anyway, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below telling me what you guys think about this and what you hope the movie will have in it, and do you like these character descriptions, or do you think that there's something they should do differently or improve upon, or maybe keep a little bit more original? Comment all that down below. I definitely want to know. I guess that's about it for me. So again, this has been Crazy 71, and I will see you guys next time in whatever video I make. So anyway, guys, goodbye.